The national championship is upon us, and what do I want to talk about? Well, playoff expansion, of course. And I want to give you what it would look like under my vision. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? It's me again, Golden Blue Dude, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. I do videos every single day, either college football or college basketball. Of course, this one's gonna be a college football video, and the best way to support this channel, hit the subscribe button. Easy as that. The culmination of the college football season happens tonight, the national championship. And what's the first thing that pops in my head? Playoff expansion. Why? Because the first two playoff games were blowouts. And they're trying to avoid that. The current system is not working. There's other good reasons, and that's what I want to talk about. The first reason, it's obvious. The rich get richer. You can't even the playing field if the same teams keep making the playoffs, keep winning the national championship, keep getting the money, and keep putting that money back into the program. It keeps going over and over and over and over. The same thing is going to happen for the next 20 years if something doesn't change. Another thing is a lack of drama. Now, there have been some great semifinal playoff games. Alabama-Georgia comes to mind. But beyond that, not a whole lot. There's more blowouts than anything else. Expanding the playoffs would also generate more interest nationally. I know the national championship draws a lot of eyeballs and a lot of money. Fine. But the playoffs themselves limit the demographic to basically the Southeast and maybe the Midwest every once in a while. West Coast, forget about it. Northwest, forget about it. And I know you can blame, well, the teams need to play better, blah, 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 blah. I understand what you're saying. They need to play better. They need to win their conference and have a good record. I get it. But 4 teams does not leave very much room for error. Another problem is there's not enough representation of the group of 5s in the playoff committee. That's why they're an afterthought. Maybe 1 or 2 people, oh, Cincinnati, Coastal Carolina, and the rest are like, Alabama, Notre Dame, Clemson, Ohio State. Yes, sir. Yes, I was just mentioning it. Shut up, sit down. Yes, sir. I won't mention it again. And I like comparing it to the big dance, March Madness. No, I'm not going for 64 or 68 teams. No way. But there is 0 chance for that Cinderella Story. We love that Cinderella Story when March Madness, the big dance. There is simply no chance for a Cinderella Story in the current playoff system. And yes, there are deserving teams that could pull a Cinderella Story. Several undefeated teams this year, Cincinnati, Coastal Carolina, yes, they were deserving. Just because you don't recognize their names or they're not consistently nationally awesome doesn't mean they didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. And I know I've said this before, but basically the same teams get in and year out and blah, blah, blah. It's almost just routine. Like, it's either going to be Ohio State, Alabama, or Clemson, which even if you expand it, it still could be that way. But it would increase the chances of a Cinderella Story or somebody other than those 3 winning the national championship. Another thing that baffles my head is rankings make no sense sometimes. And usually, yes, it's that number 4 spot, but sometimes it could be the number 3 and the 4 spot. You never know. You add more spots, that adds more clarification of who could actually pull the unthinkable. When's the last time we used that in the playoffs? Pull the unthinkable. Never. The last thing is, the group of 5s have no national championship. Oh, you can say that this national championship represents them as well, but when you give them no shot to get into the playoffs, no, it really doesn't represent them. So, basically, you would need to expand the playoffs, or they need to branch off and create their own playoffs and their own national championship. Now, what I'm saying, is it ever going to come true? I don't know. Maybe not. I hope so, though, because I'll be honest, what we're watching, kind of boring. It's the same old, same old. Give me something new. Even in the big dance, March Madness, you know, the 1-2 seeds, maybe they're similar every year. But we definitely don't see the same teams get to the national championship every year. No, it's something different. And our brackets are like, man, it's almost impossible to write a perfect bracket. With the playoffs, you can pretty much get a perfect bracket every year. Well, the Clemson blowout by Ohio State, that was unexpected, but, that's just one little change, Now I wanted to show you what my brackets would look like if my vision was followed. I'm not suggesting that we expand to a 16 playoff. I'm not suggesting that we switch to an 18 playoff. I'm suggesting that we switch to a 12-team playoff. The top 4 seeds gets the bye. So you're still rewarding them. They're still getting that bye. So this year's playoff brackets under my vision would look like this. Number 8 Cincinnati versus number 9 Georgia. That seems familiar. The Peach Bowl. The Peach Bowl. It would have given it a little bit more significance. Winner gets Alabama. The next slot, number 12 Coastal Carolina against number 5 Texas A&M. I don't know about you, but I think the 12 could have upset the 5 this year. I think Coastal Carolina could have upset Texas A&M, and their reward, they take on number 4 Notre Dame. Possibly another upset. Then we go on down to the 11th seed Indiana playing the 6th seed Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma would have won that game, but you never know. Indiana looked great at times. Winner gets Ohio State. So if Indiana would have pulled off the upset, beat Oklahoma, they get the rematch with Ohio State. Or Oklahoma does what we think they would do, beat Indiana and get Ohio State. That would be a great matchup. And then the bottom slot, number 7 Florida against number 10 Iowa State. Great matchup right off the bat. Winner gets Clemson. More great games. More chances to win. More chances for a Cinderella story. I'm all for it. Let me know what you think. Give me your ideas of a playoff expansion. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on my next show.